is Liquid News, and these are tonight's headlining stories. Against all the odds, Mariah opens her chords for Virgin. Paul Hogan goes down under to unveil his crock of old Crocodile Dundee. And Mel goes way up west as she's named Woman of the Year. Hello, I'm Iain Lee, and we start tonight with the faintly depressing news that Mariah Carey has shrieked her way to a record deal. The woman who counts cutting the waistband off her jeans as one of her major career achievements has signed to Virgin in a contract worth almost £20 million an album. That puts the 7-octave warbler in the same platinum-edged tax bracket as Janet Jackson and REM. Liquid News chief reporter Robert Nisbet shows us the money.
The golden tonsils have tickled up a golden gusher from Virgin Records. Mariah Carey will bank £60 million for 3 albums after parting company with her husband Tommy Mottola and, not coincidentally, his Sony record label. This weekend she signed on the dotted line. This is the well-guarded home of Virgin Records, confusingly no longer part of Richard Branson's empire but owned by EMI. It's obviously got plenty of money. That's why Mariah Carey has been able to strike Virgin Oil. She's not the first to be spurting with joy after being trussed into Virgin's golden straitjacket. Janet Jackson was the previous contract champion with a deal worth £52 million. REM were men over the moon after matching Janet's haul, but that for 5 consecutive albums. Those international telephone numbers make Madonna's £40 million deal with Warner's look paltry. And going down, George Michael secured £25 million, as did ZZ Top before disappearing under a bush of facial hair. But Mariah, who sold 125 million records worldwide, will now feel a similar pressure to maintain her popularity and return Virgin's investment. Such weighty topics may not weigh too heavily on Mariah's mind, who feels her fashion statements may be remembered long after Heartbreaker lies broken on the turntable.
Maybe if I've made one contribution, it's that girls don't really have to do the secret under the table thing anymore.
But for the former waitress, who's equalled Elvis's 14 #1 singles record in the US, her deal is a fitting reward for a singer whose commercial clout has always overpowered her critical success. Robert Nisbet, BBC News.
And singing for their collective suppers tonight, I'm joined by Radio 1's entertainment news mistress, Briggy Smell, and also with us is ex-Prodigy dancer Leroy Thornhill, who's here to shamelessly plug his new singing career. We'll get to that in a minute, Leroy. Calm down. Now, Leroy, you're in music. Are you a fan of Mariah's? Do the two go together? I don't know.
I'm not really a big fan of her, but you've got to sort of give her some respect. She's got a bit of talent there. But
where?
Well, yeah.
I don't know about that.
Down her top, I think, maybe, is where...
Yeah, I don't know about that amount of money's worth of talent, but... yeah, no, she's talented, but I might try chopping the top of my pants or something and start a new look if I can get that sort of money.
Briggy, she's talented, but is she worth £20 million an album?
Absolutely not. No, of course not. I mean, it was only, a while ago she did that track with Westlife.
Yeah,
I mean, how could they forget that? No, appalling.
Apparently she's the biggest female star in the world. I didn't know that.
No.
I know she's got a big backside, but I didn't know that she was actually that big.
I didn't actually. I would have thought it was Madonna or Janet. I'm quite appalled to find that as well. It's all a very distressing story, really. I had to lie down for a bit.
Really?
Yeah, well, I heard, yeah.
How did you... I mean, you do real music, don't you? None of this,
real
this R&B rubbish nonsense they do, lightweight nonsense in LA.
It's a bit light for me, that.
Would you ever sign up for £20 million an album?
Yes. Would you?
Very quickly, have you ever met her?
Yeah, I have.
Is it true she's got a funny face, half her face?
No, she was very rude, though.
Oh, really?
Yes, and she didn't want her fans to come near her. They scared her.
More gossip coming up later on, I think. But still to come, Paul Hogan bones another crocodile and Madge pledges her love in plastic. It's liquid film. Jodie Foster has revealed that she's about to become a mum again. The 38-year-old actress is expecting her second child in November. Her first baby, Charlie, is nearly 3. It was widely reported Jodie was artificially inseminated with Charlie, but the actress is refusing to say if a turkey baster was used for this pregnancy. Nicole Kidman has thrown a wobbler over what she calls the invasive press coverage of her private life. The star is said to be distraught by reports referring to her split from Tom Cruise and her recent miscarriage. She told the Sydney Morning Herald that she was trying to protect her children and her own privacy, whilst going through what she describes as the toughest time of her life. Jennifer Aniston claims she's just had the toughest year of her life, despite the fact she's got Brad Pitt and earns $750,000 a week. She blames her estranged mother, calling her the last chunk of disease in my life. And she says marriage has brought out fears, mistrust, doubts and insecurities that she tried hard to overcome. And she hates her hair. Honestly, some people, I don't know, Calories nil, cigarettes nil, big scary rubber underwear none. Renée Zellweger was more Hollywood ice queen than chain-smoking Singleton at the US premiere of Bridget Jones. She teamed up in New York with Hugh Grant, who plays Bridget's love rap boss, Daniel Cleaver. They'll be treading the red carpet again tomorrow when they attend the UK premiere in London. Renée's already had rave reviews for her posh British girl accent and her undercover work for the role in London.
Move, come to, familiarize myself with English culture and Bridget's cultural and social references. And then I'd worked at Picador for a little while, the publishers, so that I could understand what her life was about on a daily basis. And did a lot of watching for 3 months before we started. Every day worked on dialogue, worked on changing my physicality a little bit so that it more closely reflected the physicality, which would be, I suppose, a result of Bridget's life.
Leroy there, some woman talking about Bridget Jones' Diary. Does it sound like your kind of film?
It's a bit above me. I haven't heard too much about it, to be honest.
It's probably one of the biggest hype films of the year, man, for goodness sake.
I don't follow hype.
Oh,
I don't watch much telly. I kind of miss all the trailers.
You don't follow hype. You're wearing Tommy Hilfiger.
Hype.
Exactly.
Free hype.
Now, in that film, she's supposed to be fat, apparently.
Yeah, can I just say about that?
I didn't realise this. Someone told me, oh, she's fat in it. What?
No, well, she's skinny normally, but she's supposedly put 2 stone on. But when you go and see it, I saw it the other day, and she looks like a size 12, which is kind of quite, a normal-sized woman. She doesn't overweight. She's just got slightly fleshy arms. But her legs are slim, and it's very annoying, and I think it's all very wrong. They're saying that she's fat.
More fat virgin films, please.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what we need. But I mean, is this film going to be any good, or is it going to be another bad remake of a film?
No, it is good, and there's a really good bit in it where 2 posh idiots fight, which is quite funny, and they've got...
Is one of the posh idiots Hugh Grant, by any chance?
Yes,
oh, what a surprise.
Also the great thing is Jerry Halliwell's record is playing, but it's played... Really, they hardly play any of it. There's little chunks of it, so it's great. You don't hear it all, which is another great thing. It is a good movie. It's kind of like a chick flick, but I like it.
Yeah,
I think
it's a girl's film. I'm bored of it.
Men in touch with their feminine sides, like you two.
I'll be honest with you, it sounds rubbish. Listen, you can't teach an old croc new... Can you two calm down, please? You can't teach an old croc new tricks, as Australia's leatherist export Paul Hogan proved when he unveiled his latest film, the imaginatively titled Crocodile Dundee 3. Yet again, he plays a reptile wrestling Aussie barbarian in the big city. This time it's LA. Australian critics at its world premiere in Sydney found it as hard to swallow as a yard of Fosters. Reporting for Liquid News, Emma Tinney-Jones.
Too many hours whiled away in LA's tanning shop have left Paul Hogan with a passing resemblance to his favourite beast. That fact may be the highlight of Crocodile Dundee 3.
What's different about this, the character in this film?
Nothing.
Hey, Jacko. What are you doing up there? Just sitting up here thinking about a new career, mate.
He's been looking since 1987 and the first Crocodile Dundee film, but has only got as far as making 2 sequels. This one also relies on A. Crocodile gags, B. Mick Dundee wrestling with other animal gags, C. More crocodile gags, and D. Mick Dundee as the fair dinkum Aussie bloke hilariously bewildered by city life gags. By now, Paul's more familiar with LA than Oz, after moving there when the first Crocodile Dundee made $360 million. By now, most Australians would rather Russell Crowe as a national symbol and complain that Mick Dundee's chuck another steak on the Barbie stereotype is outdated.
It's not an important film, it's just a funny movie.
If it's open in Oz to an underwhelmed public, at least there are consolations. Paul's acting ability isn't stretched, as real-life wife Linda Kozlowski is once again his on-screen partner, and he still gets to advertise his amber nectar. Still, with videos of the first 2 films so readily available, he shouldn't rely on this old croc to make a splash. Emma Jones, BBC News.
Man, the question...
Why?
Why? What on earth? You look like a Crocodile Dundee fan. Did you like the first?
I was. That's a bit more Crocodile Dundee, I think.
You put a G in it. You made a pun.
Yeah.
I like it. But I mean, are you not happy that finally the trilogy is now complete?
Not quite like Star Wars, is it?
He used to make one earlier as a young lad.
Yeah.
But have I missed out on all the hype on this? I've heard nothing about this film at all.
Until like the other day. But I think a man that old shouldn't be wearing leather. Should he?
No, that was his face. That was actually his skin. That's what he looks like.
Great one.
So he used to do, like, he did beer adverts. He did one Crocodile Dundee film that was all right. The second was rubbish. A load of other rubbish films.
Yeah.
Do you think he's a bit desperate to get his career back?
Yeah, totally. But he's still with Linda.
Oh, she was in the first one, wasn't she?
Yeah, so, Got something
I once
to
went
brag
on
about.
a coach trip to Paris. The only 2 videos they had in there, Crocodile D1, Crocodile D2. They were the,
and now you can get the third. Have you?
Yeah, now we get the third and go all the way to Holland or something. I don't know, let's see. Guy Ritchie is all over Madonna's Flexible Friends, and apparently she doesn't have a problem with it. Madge has changed her name to Mrs. Ritchie on her Amex card, and she's reportedly told her lawyers to put a married name on all bank accounts, cards and legal documents. Darcy Bustle's going to squeeze into an all-rubber catsuit for the title sequence of the new James Bond film. The ballerina says she's well in with Pierce Brosnan because she's met him loads of times at the Royal Opera House. But in a bit of a faux pas de deux, she admits that Sean Connery is her favourite Bond of all time. Anyway, let's hope she doesn't tell him that when they start work on the opening sequence of the new film this August. Still ahead, Mel scores a Woman of the Year and Pammy turns pro for charity. It's Liquid Life. Marry a fish fryer, walk out on your wedding day, then marry a murderous gangster. Now, that's not my personal guide to life, but one to be followed if you stand any chance of winning an award. Tamsin Outhwaite, alias Mel, the blonde one from EastEnders, is officially Woman of the Year, according to the readers of Maxim magazine. Sonic was declared Best UK Singer, and last year's woman winner Kat Deely got Best TV Presenter. For Liquid News, Max Flint.
Maxim says the awards are a celebration of women as seen through the eyes of their male readership and their particular interests, even though most readers are still gluing their favourite girly pictures to their school locker. Most, that is, not all.
There are so many, aren't there? You know, one is covered in confusion, really. It's almost like too much food, isn't it?
The people living in men's magazine land are usually rich, attractive, fast-living and very slow-loving. But the readers, there's something different. They're normally hunched under a duvet listening for the sound of their mother's footsteps with only 1 or maybe 2 things on their mind.
I don't usually pick up the magazines, but I always see them. Loaded's always got, I think, big tits, and that one's got quite big tits as well, doesn't it? So, you know, I don't really...
And you're a bit bothered that people might be voting on that?
Well, I haven't got big tits, so they're not voting on that.
Oh look, now she's Best UK Singer, she's suddenly a new fan of men's magazines.
Well, now I can actually, you know, say maybe they're kind of cool people.
Best TV Presenter is Kat. TV soap personality went to Joanna Taylor from Hollyoaks. Bum-obsessed Amanda Holden is Best Comedy Actress for The Grimleys.
Shot my bum, don't you, or something?
Randall and Hopkirk's Amelia Fox is Best TV Actress. And the big one went to...
Doesn't have my name on it, which I think was, in case it didn't turn up, it was going to someone else.
Exactly right, Tamsin. She's so huge now, she's being let out of the square to go and film a wildlife programme about dolphins. You know, after marrying sharks, you're going swimming with dolphins after that.
Marrying sharks?
Steve.
Very well done. I've married a shark and now I'm about to go swimming with dolphins, absolutely.
Caprice got 2 awards, Maxim's International Woman of the Year and the media's Best Strop for refusing to go even near a camera. And my own personal favourite, Best Job Centre Outfits, goes to the Live and Kicking Girls. Max Flint, BBC News.
Pamela Anderson is promising to get the golf world hot under its Pringle collar. She'll be getting out her swimming togs for the aptly titled Pamela Anderson Bikini Golf Open in Mexico this summer. A host of Playboy bunnies are set to tee off at the charity Bonanza, which is also being hosted by Michael Bolton. It's not yet known if Pammy's new best mate Liz Hurley will be tempted by the promise of a ride on a golf buggy. Man, Leroy.
Can I just leave now?
Yeah, you go. We're talking golf here.
Surface to requirement.
It's a man sport. I'll be honest, you know, fair play, she's doing it in her underwear, whatever. I'm actually going to go just for the golf. I'm a fan of the sport.
Yeah, totally. I put my name down for caddying already.
Oh, really? Now, is that a euphemism, or let's be careful? Why? Again, now, Pamela Anderson, she's doing a nudie golf. She was hanging around the bins at the Oscars or something recently.
Yep.
Is she a little bit desperate for work?
She is, but actually, I mean, it's obviously going to draw a huge crowd, so she might well make some money out of it, and it is for charity, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So, fair play. She always gets her stuff out anyway. There's no change there, is it?
I think it sounds brilliant. I'll be honest with you, it's a bit sexist, but...
I'd go for a gander.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, I'll see you there then. That's the day. Fantastic. But look, Leroy, Michael Bolton is also co-hosting it over there, big star. You're kind of the English Michael Bolton yourself. Don't take that as a criticism. That's a compliment. He's got loads of hit records.
I'm going to punch him for you.
What's with Bolton?
I have no Malay for a start.
but I reckon you could get a good one going if you worked on it, and you know it, and you've tried one as well, I bet.
No, back in the day.
We've got a picture of you. But why don't you host an English, nudie golf contest? You get Sue Pollard, Jordan, Phelps, all the stars.
Wouldn't be room for anyone else if Jordan was there, would there?
Well, exactly, eh? She's got a...
That sounds like a good idea, though. That does sound like... We should get it on.
Well, I'll help you sort that out. I think we can definitely do that. Definitely. Sorry, I'm getting all excited. Women's Awards, 21st century.
I noticed not a brunette there, apart from Sonique, but I mean, obviously...
because brunettes are rubbish.
Thanks.
After a 10-year absence, the Secret Policeman's Ball is back. The Amnesty comedy gig has given birth to We Know Where You Live. John Cleese has been replaced by Eddie Izzard, and although no acts at all have been lined up, it's out with the West End Theatre and in with Wembley Arena. To kickstart Eddie's reign as host and artistic director, the comedian took the British press on a magical mystery tour. Rebecca Cooper was one of them.
After 10 years, Amnesty has reunited us with the Secret Policeman's Ball. But there's a few changes. It's now given the ominous title of We Know Where You Live, and Eddie Izzard is host, artistic director, and for one day only bus conductor.
In an attempt to whet our appetites to the Amnesty cause, we've been taken on a London sightseeing tour. Only, as we're going to find out, it's a bit of a tour with a difference.
The sights are of those embassies still guilty of human rights abuse. It's hardly a laughing matter, and where's Eddie's stand-up?
We've got a tandoor restaurant on the left here, which is some of the best Indian cuisine, according to the canopy bit. And you would say that, wouldn't you? You wouldn't say it's a bit dodgy.
It's going to be his job to fill Wembley Arena on June the 3rd. In its heyday, the Amnesty gigs attracted the hippest of stars to sell their cause.
How about those bus drivers, huh? I chased the bus 3 blocks the other day. Finally, he opens the door, and I get my coat out.
But with Eddie in control of this particular bus, there were a few stops he wanted to make.
In February of the year 2000, Vanessa Lorena Ledesma, also a transvestite, an Argentinian citizen, was arrested and tortured to death.
For a transvestite whose act is now widely accepted by the chattering classes, Eddie's confident he'll be ringing up those tickets. And he's happy to follow in John Cleese's footsteps.
And then, of course, we let down Amnesty by refusing to do their annual charity show.
There's a big emphasis on this being the son of the Secret Policeman's Ball. After all, it's been absent for the whole of a decade. And John Cleese has now handed over the reins to a younger comedian. But the only thing Amnesty want to stay the same is the public's enthusiasm. Rebecca Cooper, BBC News.
Still ahead, Jamie Oliver cashes in on his chips and Anne Robinson comes over all called Cymru. It's Liquid Television. Jamie Oliver is putting his pan of fried liver on ice to cook up a storm in TV land. The Naked Chef is teaming up with Pearson Television and a new company, Fresh Productions, to make what's described as original and cutting-edge programmes. Although he'll front some shows, he'll also be involved in a behind-the-scenes capacity. It's not clear whether this will involve a tea and bacon butty-making facility. It seems that Anne Robinson is choking on her words and wearing them on her T-shirt. The presenter is helping to boost tourism in her beloved Wales by backing a campaign to attract visitors back during the foot and mouth crisis. It's been dismissed by Welsh groups who say it's like Ian Paisley wearing a T-shirt saying, "I love the Pope." Ricky Tomlinson's hopes that John Travolta will play him in the American version of The Royal Family have gone for a bit of a Burton. In fact, this man will play the dad in the US series, which will be called The Kennedys. It's Randy Quaid, brother of Dennis, whose movie credits include Independence Day and The Magical Legend of Leprechauns. No news who'll play wife Barbara, though we have heard that Kim Basinger is a bit of a loose end at the moment. Ricky, as someone involved in show business, you must be over the moon that there's a chance we'll see less of Jamie Oliver on TV, surely?
Yes, actually.
You fancy him a bit, don't you?
No, I absolutely don't. He's not my type. He's not my type.
Have you met him at all?
I have. I went round for lunch, Christmas lunch once.
Is he that much of an idiot?
For Radio 1 thing.
Christmas
yeah.
dinner.
I'll leave. These two appear to be...
He knocks up a nice Christmas dinner, I'll give him that.
It was nice.
Is he a bit of an idiot, though?
I didn't really talk to him that much.
I think he's all right. I think he's all right.
Is he a mate of yours? Yeah, I'll be careful then, because I don't want to get into any arguments.
Yeah, I think he's all right. I think I think he's a good. He's a bit different, isn't he? A bit younger, makes a bit of a change.
A bit irritating.
Yeah, he cooks
But
well.
what's his fan base, though? I mean, surely it's you know, lonely 20-somethings and old women. It's the Barrymore fan base, isn't it, basically?
Well, probably got more now, hasn't he?
Oh, that's slightly controversial. Let's be careful there. OK, the US royal family. Who would you have in the US version of the royal family?
I want John Goodman for the dad.
Yeah.
I think Tracy Ullman probably do Carolina Hearn's part quite well.
Tracy Ullman,
she bugs me, but I'm trying to think of somebody who'd be sort of like cutting like that.
For the mum, I get that lady impersonator from Golden Girls. You know, the big rough fellow, dead woman.
She's scared of her.
She was big. Yeah. She was weird, wasn't she?
Or Nurse Ratchet from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I don't know her name, but I like her.
Bless you and your obscure film references, looking all hip and trendy. But surely it's doomed for failure. I mean, all these TV shows that they copy in America, they copied Fawlty Towers over there and didn't have Basil Fawlty in it.
Do they get our sense of humour? I don't think they're on the same sort of sense of humour, Buzz. I think
they're on a rubbish sense of humour.
And I reckon they're going to set this in like a trailer park or something.
Oh, that sounds quite good. I'll take that one. Still to come, the Rockstars download their drumsticks, plus Jacko and LaToya lighten up together forever. It's Liquid Music. Mr and Mrs Victoria Posh Beckham Spice could soon be investing in a new set of tennis courts after winning their latest legal battle with their former bodyguard. A High Court judge has ruled that Mark Niblett was in breach of a confidentiality agreement when he disclosed the secrets of their boudoir to author Andrew Norton. A separate hearing will decide how much dosh the couple will receive from Niblett. Rockers have been lining up in the music industry's epic battle with music swapsters Napster. Artists like Don Henley and Chuck D are preparing to give evidence to the US Senate about the future of online entertainment. It comes as three of the world's largest record companies join forces to launch a new subscription-based music service on the web. MusicNet is made up of AOL, Time Warner, Bertelsmann and EMI, who've promised to have thousands of songs on the internet for subscription-based download by this summer. Made-up band Hearsay have announced they're going on a full-scale tour this summer. It's the first time a pop band has confirmed shows this big when they've only released one single. They'll start off at the Cardiff Arena in August and will also play the Birmingham NEC and Wembley before finishing up in Manchester in late September. Danny has already revealed disturbing details that the band are already planning a second album and are not going to disappear. He's a Liquid Banquet regular and a former Prodigy prancer, but tonight Mr Leroy Thornhill's here for a natter about his solo matter. Going under the name of Flight Crank, Leroy's just released his debut album, Beyond All Reasonable Doubt, and his amazing single, that's the title, not a description, I don't know, is out in a couple of weeks. But let's see how his single voice is holding up.
Long face, the colour blue, grey day, what to do? Black looks, you feel the gloom, red blush across the room. Step out of bed every day, step out of bed every day. Anyway, it's your salvation I'm craving. I often wonder if I'm worth saving. I often wonder if I'm trapped in a dream. But you release me, set me free. You're amazing, life-saving. Anything you need, just name it. You're amazing, life-saving. What's mine is yours, just take it. Tired eyes up all night, can't face the early light. Coat hangs by the door to walk through waterboard. Step out of bed.
That has given me a headache, that video. What were you doing? You on the camera yourself, man?
Yeah, no, I had the old body harness on, so I was just sitting like 2.5 foot in front of my face the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you wear it for a couple of days, just playing around as well?
Yeah, I was walking around like Galen afterwards. I was like, it's my back, it's killing me.
So this is your first solo single ever, is it?
Yeah.
How long does it take you to do this?
What, the actual, just the record?
Yeah.
I don't know, wrote it probably in a day and then produced it in time with Cameron McVeigh over the course of, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 months. Little
hang on, so you wrote it in a day? Which is quite good going.
Yeah.
It took you 6 months to make it.
Well, yeah, you write them all first and then go and produce them at the end. Otherwise, it's like, if you produce it at the beginning, by the time you've done the last one, the first one sounds old, you know.
That's why I do rude news-based comedy and you make pop records. What was it like working on your own? Was it exciting, actually being the main force?
I find myself pretty hard to work with at times.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh, bless, what a sweet thing to say.
apart from that, it was pretty easy going.
Yeah?
Nah, yeah, it's good.
with yourself.
Sometimes it can be a bit awkward.
Ricky, what do you think of his music? Any good?
I like that. Yeah, I do.
You're just saying that because he's there. Pretend he's not there and be honest.
I think it's melodic. It's very different, isn't it? To,
yeah.
You know.
I think it's surprising people. Everyone expects it to be sort of like banging nosebleed farts or something. Yeah.
Nice harmonies.
It sounds beautiful. I like the colours there in the video. But the Prodigy, I mean, didn't they play to 300,000 people in Red Square in Moscow or something?
Yeah. Top.
Was that terrifying?
No, because we'd already done a few big crowds. Right. A bit terrifying with some of the crowd because the soldiers start wading in with batons and that because they just can't get their head around it.
People started dancing too much,
you just see people with blood running down their head, you know. Like,
but you carried on playing.
Oh, the show must go on.
But I mean, do you want to reach those heights again on your own, or is?
No, I'm not concerned about anything. I mean, I'm just really pleased to be putting music out. You know, I don't expect much from it. I mean, if people like it, that's all well and good and great by me. But I'm not out to sort of be a spin-off, like be as successful as Robbie or someone like that after moving out of a band. You know.
Be honest though, if Jerry Halliwell can have #1 singles, you stand a very good chance. You know what I mean?
I don't know about that.
Have you seen that terrible video she's in?
God,
soft porn and far too muscular.
Exactly.
We discussed it yesterday. It's going to now. Quickly, talking about Napster. Napster was mentioned there. Are you a fan of Napster? Do you support it or are you against it?
No, I don't think. You know, I don't think it's cool, especially being in the business. It's like, you know,
But isn't it just like mates swapping tapes? You know, I used to make tapes with my friends and buying bootleg tapes. Isn't it the same sort of thing, or is it much worse than that?
No. Because if you're like, for example, it took you 2 or 3 years to write an album, you're building it up, and then someone can get it on the net the next day before it's even released. You know,
it's a little bit tight, I suppose.
nothing.
But not everyone's got access to the net, have they?
What if someone stole your gags?
Well, I haven't got none. I think they have stolen them when I was asleep. They didn't tell me. Calm it. Gwyneth Paltrow has proved she's more than a Bobbins one-hit wonder after those crazy kids from Oz sent her second record soaring up the charts. The star has made it to #3 in the Australian hit parade with a cover of the 1981 hit Betty Davis Eyes. It follows her recent #1 with Cruising, which featured in the film Duets. As far as we know, Gwyneth has no plans to give up the day job. Bets are being placed on whether Michael Jackson and his sister LaToya are in fact the same person. Bookies William Hill are offering odds of 500 to 1 that the duo share more than just a passing resemblance. According to the bookies, the pair must be one and the same because they are never photographed together. Sadly, the only way anyone's going to win the Jacko jackpot is if they can prove or disprove the conundrum. Those pictures, did you see the picture of LaToya and Michael there?
Yeah.
What do you think? Got to be the same person.
I don't know, I'm very scared.
Really?
Yeah.
It's worth a $5, surely, Briggy.
Yeah, and when bits of Michael fall off, maybe LaToya just comes around and picks it back up and puts it on her own face.
Hand-me-downs, like you just school.
It's the Jackson hand-me-downs. There's my nose. It's got to have my ears. And I'm changing colour as well. Have some of that. I don't know what that is. That's all a bit weird. Michael Jackson, when's he going to have another hit record? That's what I want to know. I've been waiting for ages for it.
It doesn't matter. As soon as he releases one, it's a hit.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
OK, listen, I think we're coming to the end of the show. Have you had a good time?
Yeah, as you...
What's your record? Tell us again quickly.
It's amazing and it's out on the 16th.
Yeah, what's it called?
Amazing.
No, but I know it's amazing, but what's it called? Do you see what I'm doing? I'm teasing him. That's not fair. Before we... He's going to hit me afterwards. Before we go, a look at today's top stories. Mariah Carey has signed the world's biggest recording deal with Virgin worth £60 million. Paul Hogan has launched his new film Crocodile Dundee 3 with a premiere in Australia. And EastEnders Tamsin Outhwaite has been named Maxim Woman of the Year. Well, that's about it from us. For more of the very latest entertainment news, join us again tomorrow night at 8:30. We'll be sharing Robbie Williams' bed in the name of charity. Until then, good night.